5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm good evening to everyone. And after the first T20I game, what we discussed that it's quite a norm for Team India nowadays to actually lose the first one and then come back from behind. And this is what happened today as India won the game by 7 wickets, a dominating victory, an all-round victory, you can say, with the disciplined bowling effort. And then Ishan Kishan, the debutant, who scored 56. After 10 years, a debutant has scored 50 for India, and last it was Ajinkya Rahane in 2011, and then Virat Kohli, the skipper, who has been the talk of the town for his form, but today he was back in the groove, scoring unbeaten 73 of just 49 deliveries, and also became the first man on this planet, first male cricketer on the planet to score 3,000 T20I runs. Also surpassed Rohit Sharma's tally of most 50 plus scores, scoring his 26th 50 in the shortest format of the game. So an all-round performance. And now for more of the analysis and discussion, I have my expert with me, Mr. Varun Kumar, former DDCA cricketer and presently a BCCI match referee. So, good evening, VK. An
Good evening.
all-round display of cricket, barring some sloppy fielding by the Indian team. But apart from that, we saw a proper cricketing display. Even the debutants, one of them could not bat as he didn't get a chance. But Ishan Kishan, a cracker, and he busted as if he was playing in an IPL game.
See, yeah, I mean, when the game started, and uh, although India lost the first game, but still, India was the favorite at the start of the game because we all know that it was just one of those bad day in last T20 games, and the way India played today is truly a different show from them. And if we talk about the both debutants, there is a that Ishan Kishan got a chance to open the innings, and he grabbed from both hands. He played really well, and he looks very confident. The body language was never like this, that he's making a debut. And maybe it's just because of, again, that factor comes that these players are playing IPL, and they're getting that exposure over there in IPL, that they never look they never look new to this arena. They look as if they are into this they are into this team since long. And we can see and we witness his performance. I mean, the way he batted today, it shows that he was so much confident about his skills, and to explore them and to show to the world that yes, I belong to this arena. And it is a very, very well made 50 runs from Ishan Kishan. And unfortunately, Surya Yadav didn't got a chance to bat, but he was slotted to bat at number 6. So somewhere I feel that if you are making play Surya Kumar Yadav and making him play at number 6, it is like a little a tricky position for him, because he's a top order batsman. He plays at number 3 for his Mumbai Indian team. But yes, India is already packed with so many great batsmen, so it shows that there is a lot of competition. And it also shows that there are a lot of new players who've been performing so well, and they are ready to get into this side, and they are ready to make some good performances. But still I feel that yes, overall it's not about these two players, but overall the Indian team played really well. And today, as a unit, they performed so well. They looked much more composed today. And I guess Indian team is making a habit that in a series they start with a loss, and then they just come and bang the opposition. And similarly, again, they played really well and totally outclassed England in this T20 match.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As you mentioned about Surya Yadav, the uh, where will he get a chance to play? Because he's obviously a top order batsman. Even Rohit Sharma, the way Ishan Kishan batted, so Virat said in the last game at the toss that Rohit is resting for a couple of games. Now, if Rohit is back in the next game, I wonder who will actually who will Rohit replace in the team? Yeah,
Exactly. Even I was thinking about this fact, and right now, like, see, in the first game, Shikhar got a chance, and just that he one game he got, you can say he didn't got those runs. Then they tried Ishan Kishan. Now
yeah,
Ishan made runs, so obviously he will going to play next game. But if we look into if we look into this matter, and if we see that the last T20 series India played in Australia, and over there, KL Rahul was your like main performer, and Hardik Pandya, Ravindra
yeah.
Jadeja, they were the people who were getting runs. Right now, KL Rahul played only two T20 matches, and I'm sure if Rohit make a comeback in next game, then I believe it will be KL Rahul who is going to set out, and which is really unfortunate because KL Rahul is a class
Yeah,
player, and he deserved to play in all three formats, but somehow he's like sitting out in Test series also, and that rustiness is coming just because of that fact that he's not getting chance to play in
lack of
playing 11.
gameplay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
lack
the
of
other
gameplay. Correct.
another thing, if we see right now, there is no Bumrah, there is no Mohammad Shami, there is no Ravindra Jadeja, and still team looks as if like this is the unit which is going to play in future. So at like for every like there is a phrase that it is always there is a positive and negative of all aspects. So and
Yeah,
similarly,
yeah.
like we do have a lot of players and a lot of good talent and match winners who are ready to play and win matches for India. But the other side is that now that problem is coming for the team management to make a right combination and right 11, because right now this is a bilateral series and they can try and test players, but you cannot leave out Rohit Sharma, you cannot leave out KL Rahul. Yes, Ishan played really well and he deserved to be in the team and he deserved to get a chance and he played well. And similarly,
Yeah,
what Ishan did, and same thing was like in a same way, Sanju Samson got a chance to play in T20, but
yeah.
somehow he didn't able to capitalize as good as Ishan Kishan did today. But
Ishan
it's all
Kishan did,
early
yeah.
days. Just the first game, how he goes now, how he maintain his form, that is very important because mind you, he's a wicketkeeper batsman. He's playing as a batsman right now, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a wicketkeeper batsman. So I always look up to this thing. Yes, we know that he's capable enough, so we can always keep him as a backup of Rishabh Pant. But it's my personal believe that if you have KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma available, then the first choice should be KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma to open the innings. But
Yeah,
currently,
yeah.
like he got more,
Maybe
so definitely continue, and he deserves to continue in next game also. And let's see how he do and how he perform in coming
uh,
matches.
Surya Kumar Yadav didn't bat, but maybe it can be a choice that Surya Kumar Yadav sits out for the next game and for the last couple of games after actually winning the series. Maybe India will try Surya Kumar Yadav, but that's all other possibilities. And as you mentioned, Ishan Kishan grabbed his opportunity with both hands. And now, as you mentioned, that there are some positive sides and negative sides, and Ishan Kishan plays with an aggressive mindset as what he did today and as he plays in the IPL. So with this aggressive mindset and with this intent and positive approach, you'll have failures also in your journey. But what we saw with Rishabh Pant also, the criticism, but Rishabh Pant had a longer run of freaky dismissals. But now with Ishan Kishan, as you mentioned about positive and negative about the failures, so one thing we must understand that we must trust Ishan Kishan and give him a run as we saw, because today it worked. Some days it will not work.
Obviously, see, nothing to take away from Ishan. I mean, as we discuss right now only, because see, Ishan, they deserve Ishant and Surya Kumar Yadav. They did ample of performances, not only in IPL but also in domestic circuit. They got a lot of runs for their respective states in Ranji Trophy and shorter format of domestic circuit. They've been performing very
Yeah,
well and making a lot of runs, and they always near to this team, and they made it. But the thing is that the point is, what I'm saying is, like, the competition is so much in the team right now, and somewhere this is very good headache for the team management. And because see, Rohit is sitting out, you cannot keep Rohit out of 11. It's just that they are giving chance to these new players, and there is a possibility we can see that if India win the next game, there is a possibility Virat may keep himself out of 11 and ask Rohit to lead couple of games, and where they can try Surya Kumar Yadav at number 3. And
yeah.
that would be and that could be a fair enough if they do something like this, because if they want to
Okay,
try each and every player, because after the series there will be a IPL straight away, so they love to try out all those
okay.
players which they have in their squad.
Okay, I have one more question regarding this, but we will take it afterwards. First, let's come to the bowling effort, because before the batters could step on the field, it was a disciplined bowling effort from the Indian bowlers, which restricted England to just 164, because at one moment it was looking that England will actually cross 180, and in the last 5 overs, Indian bowlers just conceded 34 runs, restricted especially Shardul Thakur with those off cutters, Bhuvneshwar Kumar with those pinpoint yorkers. Hardik Pandya bowling his 4 overs is definitely a win-win situation for India, bonus, and where India can actually add one more batter. But do you think that today India assessed the pitch much better and made use of the slow balls more judiciously as they did in the first game? Because even in the first game they didn't had the total to actually bowl for, but today they were bowling first. And don't you think that India actually assessed the pitch well and made use of the slow balls much more effectively?
See, normally in T20 cricket, I believe, I mean, pitch doesn't change that much in like in those span of 40
Yeah,
overs. And the kind of India bowling lineup the India was carrying in this game, like with they got only 5 bowlers. There were no other sixth bowler who can be used, so it was very much sure may what happened. These 5 bowlers will bowl their quota. And
yeah,
suppose if India in place of England, India have batted first and made this 164, then it could be a like little difficult task for Team India to defend that total with this bowling lineup. But like being England were batting first, they knew that Indian batting is very strong, so somewhere England were in a pressure of making a total more 180 185 plus, and in that pressure or in that thought, somewhere they lacked in between. They started really well. I mean, they although they lost the first wicket bit early, but after that they had a good partnership between Malan and Butler. They were looking good. But Chahal bowled well, Sundar bowled well. They somehow restrict the run rate in between, and uh,
yeah,
when the some fall of then when the wickets fall in between, at that time Hardik were used very intelligently by Virat Kohli, and his 4 over were bowled and didn't cost that much run. I mean, because he's bowling after a long layoff, so definitely he was not in his full rhythm, but still he was looking good. And I also believe that is Shardul Talk. Shardul Thakur is always a very useful player. I mean, he's shown that he's a three-dimensional kind of a player for shorter format, and he's an intelligent cricketer. I mean, he's a street smart cricketer, and he knows to use all these weapons he got of slow balls and cutters. And sometimes when he got some bad days, so these when those cutters come in radar of batsmen, they can go out of the park also. But it's a part of the game. But today yes, Indian team bowled well and they looked little sharp also in the field, and some there were some good catches taken. Those high catches under the lights are not that easy. Like
Yeah,
Surya Kumar Yadav took that catch, and even Bhuvnesh Kumar had a good catch. So the fielding was quite good enough, and somewhere it's England batting in between. They lost that way, and that partnership were between Malan and Butler was, you can say, a base for them, but they in between somewhere like 10 to 14 over that span of 4 5 over, they lost their rhythm, and it
yeah,
was that advantage that India have taken the advantage of that thing, and overall it was a India day today, and they played well, and obviously they outclassed England today.
yeah. Also, one more area because see, last game David Malan finished it off with the six, and this game Kohli finished it off with the maximum. Now, Kohli's form was another major concern, and every eye was on Kohli that will he get runs in this game or not. And today he was back in the groove, scoring unbeaten 73. Not only this will boost his confidence because no one had doubts on Kohli, but it was just that he was not amongst the runs. So today Kohli was back in form. Your comments on this because this was a topic discussed in the whole of the town, whole of the cricketing fraternity that when will Kohli get scored runs, and today he became the first batsman in the planet male cricketer to score 3,000 T20I runs.
See, Kohli, I mean, we all know that what class he carries, what,
Yeah,
and with that class, he's carrying the burden of responsibilities. It is exactly the same now what Sachin Tendulkar used to do for Indian team in that era of 90s. Like everyone were expecting when Sachin is going for a bat that he will make 100. Same thing is now with the Kohli. I mean, if he's getting out in 30s, 40s, good 30s and 40s, so people tend to think that he's out of touch. He's not making runs. I mean, even in Test series also, we know that he didn't got those three-digit figure, but he got a couple of good half centuries, and he was never looking out of touch. Yes, he was getting out a little early. Sometimes he was getting some good deliveries, and just it's just a phase of which comes in every batsman life, and but really happy that he scored runs today, and like people must be feeling very happy. His fans must be very happy, and it is good for Team India also because it's very important when your main batsman is among runs. And especially when he's your leader also, because somewhere if things are not going well with your individual performance, that things always revolves in your mind, and it can affect in your leadership also. Now he can sit for, although I know I'm sure he's strong enough to just neglect all these things, but still, now individually he must be feeling proud about his inning. And today he shows his class again. I mean, never looked that as if ball going to do any harm to him. He was at will only to play whatever shot he want to play, and the way he play those timing six shot, I mean, it was so easy for him. And his master class and his trademark shot of flick towards the square leg boundaries. So he was back in his rhythm, and it is a very good sign for Team India. And just this is what I'm saying. I mean, like, still Rohit is sitting out, Nakoli is back in form, and if Rohit comes in and the way Ishan played today and he carries his performance like this, all of a sudden the Team India looks altogether different. And that what happened in first T20 is just an off day for Indian team. That's it, nothing else. Because we know way right now the Indian cricket standard is way high as compared to other teams. It's no other country can match the kind of cricket we are playing. So it's just what I feel. I mean, it's a tremendous period of Indian cricket, and credit goes to all these players and all the team management, and the way Kohli is leading the things. It is simply brilliant.
yeah, definitely. The as you mentioned before, the way he rotated his bowlers, overall captaincy in the game was also brilliant. But now comes the question about the five bowler concept. We saw only five bowlers playing in the game. We can also count it as 4.5 because since although Hardik bowled his 4 overs, yet it's not guaranteed that he'll give his 4 overs. So 4+1 Hardik as an all-rounder. We went with this concept. Now, for in many of the games, this won't work for India. So, do you think that today it actually clicked and it worked? But do you think that this strategy will benefit India, or do you think that once Jadeja is fit and once he comes in, I think this will become stable and he will give balance to this team India.
Obviously, if Jadeja comes in, then India can make Hardik to bat at number five, or at number six. Today, like Hardik was slotted at number seven, and Surya
Yeah,
was at number six. So if you see, like today, if Surya is coming at six, so obviously the first six batters, I mean, first six players are only batters. And out of three of them are like who can keep the wickets: KL Rahul, Ishan Kishan, and Rishabh Pant. So that is the only you can say a weak link in Indian team, that there is no one who can bowl a bit like earlier, like uh, 5 6 years before, like Suresh Raina was there in between, Yuvraj Singh was there, so those people can roll
yeah,
their arm, so that if you're playing five genuine bowlers and two of them can bowl some couple of overs to give break to their bowlers or to bring some change or some variety in attack. So those possibilities were there, but right now with your top six players are only batters, that is a main issue.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that can be solved if Jadeja is there. Obviously, if Jadeja is there, then you can play you can play him at number seven, but still playing Jadeja at number seven. Yes, he can. The way he played in Australia, he and Hardik Pandya, they were in a very good form. But still, I believe that's a little more batting strength required. I mean, lower order, that big hitting possibilities. But that can be if Shardul is playing, Jadeja is playing, then Indian team looks quite good enough for lower order batting strength. So yes, Jadeja inclusion will definitely going to boost Indian team, and but it depends how they use Jadeja, because if what condition they are playing. So like World Cup will be in India only, so obviously what condition in this series is similar condition will be there, and we can play with two medium pacer. Hardik will be the third, and rest three spinners can be used: Jadeja, Washington, and Chahal, and that could be good enough team for India
yeah,
in for playing 11. So Jadeja is very important, still hold a very important position for Indian team.
yeah. Correctly mentioned because this five bowler concept is a bit more harmful for the team than being actually than rewarding because this sometimes if it doesn't click, you only have five options and as you
See
said,
today,
we don't have yeah,
see today, I feel, I mean, Virat took a chance by playing five bowlers because he totally banged on batting strength. If India play, if suppose England have won the toss, they could have definitely went for the chase only. So in
yeah,
that case, if India batted first, then they would have set a target for 200. I mean, they will make around 190 plus, around 200 runs with this batting lineup. And similarly, they had their in they had this thing in their mind that if we are bowling first, we definitely first thing for any team they want to restrict for the minimum score, but still they were ready if suppose England had made anything around 185 or anything around 200, something like that. So India had that batting lineup to chase such huge total too. I mean, playing player like Surya Kumar Yadav at number 6, Hardik Pandya at number 7. So imagine if they are coming and India requires some
yeah,
big number of required rate around 10 or 12, they are capable enough to chase such targets. So India were totally banking on batting lineup, and I'm definitely sure that in coming matches, India will be going with this pattern only, with five bowlers pattern.
Yeah, yeah, this is what I and Sirisa discussed in the previous game as well. That looking at what Virat has done in the past and his mindset, he will obviously look to bolster his batting lineup, and the same was done by him today as fielded two debutants in the form of Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav. Surya Kumar Yadav unfortunately didn't get a chance to bat, but Ishan Kishan obviously had a good time in the middle. Also, hit a also a debutant for India, hit a 50 after 10 years, 10 long years. It was Ajinkya Rahane back in 2011, scored 61 odd runs. But this five bowler concept, and then again, had Akshar Patel been good in the first game, India would have not gone for a change. But Akshar Patel didn't look what he was in the Test cricket. So this is where we need Jadeja. Also, you mentioned one thing about that in our top six, no one bowls, and this is what the difference you told that in the 2011 World Cup winning side and this team that no one rolls his arm over in the top six. So, do you think that uh, Hardik Pandya, we always talked about Hardik Pandya coming in the team and giving balance. So, do you think that this time Hardik Pandya is in the team and along with Jadeja, if Jadeja comes in, then they can also share their overs if not if they cannot bowl four because a couple of overs from Jadeja and a couple of overs from Hardik will obviously do the role for the fifth bowler.
See, first, if you're talking about Akshar Patel and see, Test cricket is different and T20 cricket is different, and it depend what conditions you are playing in. Test cricket was
Yeah, yeah,
were played at completely different condition, different pitches, and batting lineup was also a little different. I mean, all those. I mean, they all this team is totally different. What England are playing over here in
yeah,
T20 series, and we can see the ball is coming very well in on wicket as compared to the Test matches. Not much of turn is there, and then all the matches played under the lights. Due factor is there, and nothing to take away from Akshar. But yes, you can say if India had won the first game and played like if Shikhar had scored, KL Rahul had scored, I think then Ishan Kishan and Surya Yadav were still sitting out. It's just that India lost the first game and they didn't make runs. So then team management planned to change these players and try out new players. And today it worked. It is as simple as this. It is if suppose today also something went wrong, then people have started criticizing more and talking more about like why Rohit is sitting out,
yeah,
why this
yeah,
is not. It is just very natural, and you can't. I mean, there's this endless discussion on this such things. But
yeah,
as you said about Jadeja and Hardik, obviously, I mean they play they are very crucial to Team India, especially in this phase of cricket where they are holding a very important place as an all-rounder in all format, I believe, and they bring the balance in team, especially when you have a batsman, when you have that batting lineup where no one rolls their arms, so their presence is very important. And coming at number 6 and 7, those two players that brings some kind of a balance. And yes, and if Jadeja is playing, obviously you look him as a pure bowler who can bowl his full 4 over of his quota, and Hardik then Hardik can support him. And I mean, it's depend. I mean, on given day, like which bowler is going with a good rhythm, or any bowler is not able to restrict the opponents, and those over can be shared between each other. And yes, it gives the variety also. Like when Jadeja is there as a left arm spinner, and Chahal as a leg spinner, Sundar as a off spinner, so you get all three different spinners in your team.
yeah. Yeah, so after a clinical win, now India will, or rather, both the teams will move into the third T20I game at the Narendra Modi Stadium, same stadium in Ahmedabad, to actually take a lead, because the score line of the series will eventually go up to 2-1, be it England or India. Let's see who will take the lead, and another eye will be on the team combination, whether Rohit Sharma comes in or not, and if he comes in, then who actually will he replace? So this will also be a point to watch, and a lot of more discussion. So one Rohan Sharma says, unfair for Surya Kumar Yadav. Uh, take that, VK. Unfair for Surya Yadav. Any comment?
See, I think Rohan is a big fan of Surya Kumar Yadav. Nothing is unfair, Rohan. It's just like it's a part of game. I mean, I think he needs to wait for another game. Definitely, he's going to play in next game. Surya Kumar Yadav. It's just that the team combination of Indian team is such that where he is slotted at number six. Otherwise, we know what he's capable of, and I'm sure team management also knows, and that is why he is there and he's a part of Indian team. And whenever and I'm sure he will definitely going to deliver whenever he gets his chance of batting at any situation or any number he's going to bat, because he's a class player. We all know he performed so well throughout the IPL for so many years in domestic circuit. So even he must be eager to go inside and for bat. And yes, we can say that even today at number four he could have been tried. I mean, in place of Rishabh Pant, because India were comfortable at that situation. But sending a Rishabh Pant is also not a wrong move, because you cannot do so many changes in one game, and especially after coming from a big loss. So definitely, I'm sure that in next game they can try Surya Kumar Yadav on a little higher up the order. There is a possibility that he can
Yeah,
be tried at
yeah,
number four. They can ask Shreyash Iyer to sit out to have a rest, and ask Surya Kumar Yadav to come up.
yeah.
So there is possibilities.
Yeah, as Rohan said, let's hope for the best. So we'll also hope for the best. And Surya Kumar, a much deserving spot for Surya Kumar, as he's been performing for the last couple of years regularly. And today he got a chance to don the Indian jersey. So a very, very proud moment and a much deserving spot for Surya Yadav. So now let's meet after the third game. Tune in every match day, post the game for the analysis and the discussion. For that, you need to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you are notified whenever we go live. So after the third game, that is day after tomorrow, we'll meet again with our experts. We'll be joined by Mr. Monty Panisa, who had a Legends game today, so he couldn't come, and Mr. Shirish Nadkarni, renowned journalist, and VK will, as usual, be there. So that's it, guys. Good night. Sleep well.
Good
Enjoy
night.
India's victory, and bye. Good night. Yes, Jai Hind. So Jai Hind, guys, and we'll meet. Jai Hind.